265 Field Road, Summers, seeking a special use permit under Section 114-8.4 Earthwork Regulations to excavate topsoil and gravel from both 375 Billings Road and the rear portion of 265 Field Road to lower the elevation and combine parcels for existing building and storage facility in the industrial zone. Take that one first? Or
can we talk about it both together?
Wait, can I put them, you know what?
Okay.
In all honesty,
I have a motion to combine the two agenda items.
They really should be. I was just going to say, you don't need the site plan.
Doesn't even need a referral.
Okay.
Necessarily, right. But so you can take them together.
And application number 25-003, Specialty Realty LLC, 265 Field Road, Summers, seeking site plan modifications for Section 214-4.3.c.1 to allow for the exterior storage warehousing of larger vehicles associated with the primary use at 265 Field Road in the industrial zone. Okay.
Great. All right. Take a breath.
Jim, did you make a motion to take them together?
Yes.
Yeah.
Pat seconded? Okay, sorry.
And they voted in favor.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
All right, so my name's Eric Peterson with Gardner Peterson Associates. We prepared the plans for these guys to hopefully get a site plan approval and special use permit. So Angelica and Nick Rollicott, they purchased these two properties, 265 Field Road and 375 Billings Road, which is the old Conval site, which I'm sure you guys are all aware of. And they got a site plan approval last September, I think it was, from the zoning commission to open up their business. And their business is they got specialty warehousing of
specialty cars.
Specialty cars. Use that word too much, right?
Yeah.
Like antique cars and
sports cars
and stuff like that. And they do that inside the building. They've done some upgrades already. They've painted the outside and they're fixing up things. And part of that site plan approval was to do a little bit of landscape work out front.
Fill the loading dock.
Right, which
everything look a little bit nicer.
Make it look a little bit better. So these two applications, they're trying to really expand that business and allow for the exterior storage of larger vehicles in the back of that building. Right now in the back of that building there's an old parking lot that's kind of been left to just grow grass through it and everything.
That's on Billings.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
On Billings, Yep. And that was the parking lot for the employees for Conval for a long time and everything. So they want to be able to store boats or RVs or trailers or stuff back
campers,
there
yep.
that the people would rent space to do that. But in doing so, they want to secure that area and kind of keep that area hidden from sight from Billings. So that's where the lowering of the whole area comes into, and in excavating out all that material, which is what the special use permit is for excavating material out of the site. There's beautiful sand in there, so they would excavate that out, lower it down about 10 feet or so, which would be kind of equivalent to the back elevation of that building. You walk out of that building right now in the back, and it goes up 10 feet.
Yeah.
And water rushes down there, and they have water pumps in the back there, and it's all part of making improvements to that whole site and the building and keeping everything in good shape. So what they would then do is, once all the material is excavated out, they would have a gravel base, and all the vehicles would be able to only enter the back from the Billings, Field Road side. And they'd have it fenced in, and they'd have a gate there, and it would be controlled by them. And
Is there a retaining wall? Okay,
Nope.
No,
we're not
10 feet.
No, we're just going to slope it down at a mowable slope, 3-to-1, which is the requirements in the regs. So it's going to be all the grass around the slopes and gravel in the middle, and it's just going to be down. It's going to be fenced in. There's going to be an evergreen row of plantings along Billings Road, a couple of light poles in the middle, just to light up that area for security purposes when needed.
On motion.
On motion and on timers. Yep. So that's really their goal. So the zoning referral that's needed is for the special use permit. So a little bit talking about, that was kind of my zoning spiel right there. The planning spiel is, I was looking through your POCD, and it talks a lot about redevelopment of commercial industrial properties, which I think this falls into. The Conval building, which I always call it, has been hanging around vacant for a real long time, and I think these guys have done a great start to revitalize that property. And this is the second stage in revitalizing the front property with the building and also the back property with the parking lot. So.
Yeah, because right now, like, our biggest concern is the easy access from Billings Road. Anybody can go in there and park. We have no real control over who's there, who's parking, what's happening.
And once they get so as far as the gravel operation goes, they will be installing a construction entrance off of Billings to get the material out. They correspond with the timing, the time of day that's allowed in zoning and whatnot. And then once that's done, that gets closed off. There'll be no access from Billings whatsoever.
You'll have rumble strips and stuff.
Yep. And one of these sets, if you flip the page, it shows what we're doing for landscaping.
I didn't put it on the same thing.
Oh, you didn't miss something? Okay, that's fine. So if you're interested, we're doing a row of eastern red cedars along Billings, and then there's going to be a black fence, and then the grade is going to go down, and so you're really not going to see what's in there once everything is matured and everything.
And are you doing anything on the back of the property in terms of plantings, or is that just going to be?
No, it's wooded here now, and we're going to keep a strip of existing vegetation the right side and on the back.
So you're basically going to be wooded around the whole thing by the time your plantings are finished?
Yeah, except for the building side.
Right.
Yep.
Right. Okay. Any questions from the commissioners? Any staff comments?
No, it was reviewed by Todd Rowland. I will have Jeff Ford set eyes on it and take a look as town engineer, or consulting engineer, before the public hearing.
I mean, my concern when I first looked at the plans was, or talked about the plans, was you're going to have create a runoff problem because you're making a hole, but you're actually fixing a runoff problem by making a hole.
Yep.
Believe it or not, you're right.
Shockingly.
But the good news is that it's all sand and gravel soils.
Right, so it doesn't tend to puddle.
So we're making a hole. We're putting a dry well in the middle of that hole, and it's going to go right. It's going to go right.
Are you pulling out the existing asphalt, or are you working around that?
It's currently like milling. It's like gravel millings or something like that. So they'll probably push that aside or
put it back to. That's the plan after everything is. Yeah, reuse it. Rebuild it.
I try to reuse
that
it.
Makes sense.
But it won't be paved.
It will not be paved.
So-
Nope.
Right.
That will help as well.
Right. So,
Yep.
Right, because you're talking about how well the sand will drain. It stops doing that when you cover it.
Yep.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, and we can generate material from the material that we're excavating here to make a nice base that's at least compact enough for
because people are going to want their
drive
campers
on.
out in the spring, and you don't want them to be sunk in the mud.
They're not. No, not here.
It's heavy stuff, right?
Yeah.
Okay. If nobody has any further questions or comments, can I have a motion?
Motion to approve application 25-02 and application 25-003. Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thanks, guys.
Good luck.
Thanks.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, unusual cars. Did you guys go to Wilbraham Hill Climb?
I don't know what that is.
Oh, that's a bunch of antique and collectible cars that goes up a hill in Wilbraham, Illinois. Everybody doesn't like cars.
Interesting. I've never heard of it. Is
Time
it?
of the year they do that.
Yeah.
They just did it last weekend, I think.
Oh, jeez. Well, do they do it once a year?
Yeah, it's an
or-
annual event.
I'll have to look into it next year. That's funny. Thank you, guys.
You're welcome.
Thanks for coming again.
Is it a steep hill?
I don't know. I've never been to it.
All these cars with
Yeah.
the engines getting up there.
What my wife taught with, the woman my wife taught with, her husband, Jeff DeMary, is an odd car guy. He's got a Packard. He takes the shows and stuff, and they do those. No.
Interesting. We haven't had any classic cars stored yet. It's mostly
Really?
like Mustangs, sports cars. My
Okay.
husband owns a detailing business in Windsor Locks, so he
Okay.
knows a bunch of people through that business.
So kind of more modern show cars.
More modern, yeah. I mean, we have a Chevelle in there, but that's about that's our extent right now.
Yeah. Okay.
Thanks, John.
Thank you.
What's the on Cinco?
Yeah, right. Thanks.
Take care.
All right. Approval of minutes from March 27.
I was not,
You weren't here.
yeah, I wasn't here, so I can't.
Make a motion?
Yeah, I'll make a second. Any questions or corrections on the minutes? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carries. Have
Motion
any
to
other
adjourn.
motions? We have a motion to have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? All right.